Oh shit! I mean, shoot.
No intro.
Can we share
No,
this
we don't
again?
need an intro.
Hey, 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Oh,
I'm back.
There we are.
Back in the New York.
we're here for like good 15 minutes.
Magically back at Lucas Oil.
All right, so everybody share us yet again.
We're back.
Dude, have you ever seen anybody travel from Beach Grove to downtown Indianapolis that fast?
No,
And back.
no.
Well, yeah.
We're having some fun.
All right. Are we sharing it? We got to share all this crap.
I'm sharing.
Everybody sharing.
All right, everybody. Where did we leave off at?
Well, we were just
I
getting.
don't know, like we didn't even get started.
I don't know exactly.
We were just
We're
getting
going
in.
to do some quick recaps.
But before that, we can pay some bills.
No.
No,
We
no,
cha- we
we're
changed
jumping
up.
Right into
We
some
changed-
reading.
we have a
So
format.
actually,
Yeah.
okay.
You gotta learn how to follow our lead. If you're gonna keep coming on the go.
This is not
You know
your
what?
show,
This ain't the
Carvey.
Carvey Jackson happy hour. Follow our lead. We're professionals here. We went to a school all of 0 hours to do this.
We've been doing this.
Actually, I
We've
went to
been
school
doing
at
this for
0 hours
months.
yeah.
My
Months,
bad.
Carvey. Months.
My
So
bad.
one of the things that I thought I might have fun with doing is the flop of the week, right?
Okay.
Okay. And
I mean, there's a couple.
based entirely on our experience with Mr. Patrick sharing anything by the NFL, we will not be showing you video today.
We will be showing. We're showing video now.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we got around the man.
Yeah, look
The
at
man
the
ain't stopping me.
Look at the jumbotron.
So there
The
was
man is not stopping me.
this amazing.
You can't hold me down, sister. You ain't gonna do it.
Nobody has to try that hard. Once you're down, you're down.
Give me a couple and I'll get back up. But I'm getting back up,
Okay,
damn it.
so one of the things that we had a really good time with this past week was this particular center that played for this particular football team that forgot what his job was.
What are you talking about?
You didn't see that?
Oh, he did.
Well, who was it?
I don't know.
You can't bring up things and not have names.
Because
and-
you do,
It's-
and he does, and he does.
I do.
There's,
Why?
there's,
I just don't know his name, but I know what you're talking about.
There's only one name we don't say in this studio.
I don't remember. I don't know. He's a center. Who knows?
What's his name? I'll say it.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Write it down. I'll say it. I don't know.
I don't know what his name is.
Well, I'll say it. There was a center play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. When Ben Roethlisberger says hike the ball, everybody move. Even Ben moved. Even Ben moved.
It wasn't even just like he was a little late.
And
I mean, the entire field is in motion, and he's just like.
yeah.
Waiting. It
Yeah.
all started without
And
him.
then the end of the play, and he's just like, what happened?
He just, so here's my question since we're talking about the Steelers. Do you think after that terrible loss they had,
Was it 30-3?
yes, 33 to 3,
33-3.
because I know a few Steelers fans, Dane Merkley, that, yeah, they was talking so much when the Colts lost, but when they lost, they disappear off Facebook. Do you think they have this next week coming up, you think they're going to turn around and win this game? Like, beat the other team real bad?
Well, who's Pittsburgh?
Who are they playing?
Who are they playing? Can you look it up? That's why I got you.
Yep, I'm on it. Week 2.
He's taking over. He taking over our show.
trying.
Now he
I'm
just
not.
took over our research
I'm
assistant.
sorry.
That's why I got you. You heard him, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's why
Right.
they got you. Sorry.
I'm gonna remind you. You signed a waiver.
No, they're playing the Seahawks.
It is the Seahawks.
But the Seahawks.
It's at home.
They're playing at home. Seahawks are flying across country.
They might drive.
I tell you what, you ain't gonna keep the talent down that the Pittsburgh
But,
Steelers
you know,
has
the
for too
Seahawks
long.
Had a good week this week.
Yeah.
They had a great week.
I got Seattle winning.
Well, and I'll tell you,
I know, I have Steelers winning, but
anybody that was sleeping on that rookie DK Metcalf, he had a good week last week.
Well,
he had-
who's he play for?
Seattle.
Oh, that's Neil.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the Neil guy up north.
I know one of our friends of the show said that he only had one route. Evidently, it was an effective one. So,
Well, good.
yeah, he played well.
Good.
My question is, with the Pittsburgh and New England game, was it more Pittsburgh or was it more New England?
It was definitely more New England.
Yes, I would say
There was
because
so much New
They were
England in that
they
game.
were
Their
picking
offense
them
was-
apart at will.
yeah,
Yeah.
offense and defense was
I
just.
mean, it was just
But the Pittsburgh wasn't playing their game by no stretch of the means. But
It was at Gillette.
they got picked apart. They weren't ready for that game. He wasn't ready.
he wasn't ready.
Hell, speaking of people that weren't ready, teams that weren't ready, how about that Miami and Baltimore game?
Lamar Jackson lit them up.
What was the final score on that? 59-10.
I don't know.
And I think they probably gave him that last,
I
the 10 points.
I told you he was a special player.
Okay, you know what?
Lamar
I was
Jackson
a
had good
naysayer about Lamar Jackson, and he proved me wrong. So I would never doubt Lamar Jackson again. I would never doubt him again.
All right.
My-
Since I'm the only Colts fan in the room, it appears, let's talk a little bit of Colts football.
all right.
Okay.
let's go ahead and
We're
talk
we're in
football.
Lucas Oil Stadium. We got the
Okay.
jumbotron.
Right
They're
over
playing
there.
the recaps,
Yeah.
and you're talking about Pittsburgh and New England.
You know why? Because there were a lot of games. It wasn't just the one game.
It's the start of the NFL season. There's going to be a lot of games every
It
week.
was a wonderful week, too.
It was a great week.
It was a great
It
week.
really was.
I love football.
Anyways, a lot of controversy over the Eric Ebron touchdown, or supposed not touchdown.
Well, it wasn't only controversial.
No.
No, it
Those
wasn't.
holding,
It-
that hold-
that penalty on Toure hitting a defenseless center.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
the NFL comes out
it
and
was
says,
Danico Autry.
"Oh, or Autry, right?
Yes.
Oh, we're sorry about that. We were wrong."
So
Okay, well, you find our players and our
that in a
teams
quarter will buy me a cup of coffee.
and our owners when they do wrong. So I think you should be fined for doing wrong.
You know, or at least, you are benched for the next 3 games. If nothing else, I mean, these guys
Talking about suspending
Yeah.
officials.
suspending
Yeah.
officials. Yeah.
I like it.
officials need to be
I don't
held
think it's
accountable
right.
because
They
we hold
should-
our,
they
they
should
hold our
be.
players accountable. Why can't officials be held accountable?
Speaking of, if you want to talk about that, did you see the story about all of the fans
The
showing
Saint,
up
the
at
Saint
the
fans,
Saints games?
hell yeah, I loved it. I
Well,
loved
that's
it.
what I'm saying. Hold
Who
the
dat,
officials
baby?
accountable as well.
My mother's a
Did you
true.
see that one lady?
Saints
She
fan.
even had flag earrings.
Oh jeez.
Well, I mean, if you are the ones that get to decide the win. I mean, you could potentially be the outcome of the game.
And it
So if
happened
you
last
screw it
year.
up,
More than once.
That-
It's happened more than once over history.
The Rams New England or New Orleans game, they really screwed it up, and it cost the Rams Super Bowl. You know, you can debate. Well, we should have played better. Well, we should have done this in overtime. Well, we should. Okay, but bottom line is, if
When
that
it
ref,
directly affects the ending outcome of a game.
Yeah.
There was what, 2 other plays after that? 3 other plays?
yeah, I mean, I could have bought the winning lottery ticket if I had known, but I still didn't win.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I like it.
Your buddy
Hey,
Dean giving you a rash of shit.
why?
Family show.
Because Dean's a lousy Patriots
Well,
fan.
okay, so let's go ahead and we can go ahead and talk about the elephant in the stadium.
Good one.
You
What's
calling?
the-
Are you
Adam
calling me
Vinatieri.
fat
I'm
now?
telling you, if you bring up the wrong thing here.
No, I'm talking about.
Are you calling me fat?
Okay,
No.
where were the missed points in the Colts game on Sunday?
Okay.
Ooh, there were several. You can call it an elephant if you want. Adam Vinatieri took full responsibility of it.
Yeah.
Said, "Hey, I had a bad game. It was my fault. We lost."
Never forgive you for the flies, ever.
He took everything on his shoulders.
Yes.
I don't believe it's an elephant. I do not believe that we should get rid of Adam Vinatieri.
I agree.
Even at 46, he has one of the strongest legs in the NFL.
You got me because
Well,
when,
and
when I
here's,
was at the
here's,
camp,
here's the thing.
He had a
He
bad
missed at the camp.
game.
Hey, who you gonna?
No, it
Wait a
wasn't.
minute.
No,
Who you gonna replace him with? You gonna
But
call
also-
Cody Parkey
But
up?
that's the biggest problem is
No,
that, okay,
hell
so
no.
you've got a 46-year-old kicker, but you didn't think that it might be a good idea to have a backup?
We got a backup.
we have a backup.
And number 6, he's the one that played in all the preseason games. Hoyer, or not Hoyer,
he's not on the
starts
sideline.
with an H.
But okay, so
not
either
sure.
way, if you look at even where Vinatieri was last year, he was still middle to bottom of the barrel. He was not one of the better kickers in the NFL last year. So at what point, okay, let's
What's
go
his
ahead.
stat? How many did he miss last year? Pull that up and then get back to me. Because I believe you're wrong. I believe he was still in the top 5.
Wait,
Re-
it's
regard-
Adam.
Broke the,
It's
he
Adam
broke the
Vinatieri. We
NFL
cannot-
record for scoring most
Regardless.
points.
With,
Hud-
with 3 seconds,
Huddling,
3
Huddling.
seconds on the game.
Adam Vinatieri last year was 21 out of 30 kickers in the NFL.
Ranked in what?
Percentage of field goals made.
31%.
He was 21 out of 30.
But what was his?
32.
What was his?
His percentage,
But he doesn't miss a lot of
hold
kicks.
on, 93%, which I agree with you is a good percentage,
You
but
did
he
right.
was 21, number 21 out of 30
I
field goal
think.
kickers.
I think what you
Okay,
need to
so
realize here.
20 other kickers was 94% and above.
Yeah.
I will
Not
take
even-
that.
I would
I
too.
will
I
take
would
that
take
this
it.
year, next year, and the following year.
If you want to be a championship team, you need all the pieces in the puddle. He's your biggest broken piece.
I disagree.
I disagree.
I personally think, okay, everybody has a bad day. I mean, we're going to mess
Okay,
up.
and that's
You
fine.
know, football players, QBs, and whatnot. I agree.
That was his average last year. That wasn't just one bad day. That was his average last year.
So
He is
7%
at
of
the
the time.
Bottom half.
7% of the time he doesn't do his job.
But he's
That's
at the-
it.
I'll tell you
he's-
what, he's doing
Adam,
his job
we're
at a
getting
higher
the lynch
percentage
mob,
than I am.
and we're coming after you.
I mean,
You
mean-
missed 7% of your damn field goals. You dirty. No, I just can't do it.
I can't
and
get
not
up on
and
that.
not only am I okay with 93% effective rate, I'm okay because his leg is still so massive. His
even-
experience, his backbone, his testicles to stand in the game-winning shot. There's no better person you want taking that last shot for you. In the
Except that-
entire
I'll take Adam
NFL.
any day.
Except that he failed at that more than once last week.
Okay.
Bad
You
day.
would have won that game last week if it wasn't for his
But
missed
it's just
field
week-
goals
it's just
and
week
his
one.
extra
Okay,
points.
I'm not saying
And I
I'm,
get that.
I'm
But it's
not-
week one with a 46-year-old leg. How tired is that gonna
Well,
get?
we're gonna say so. This right here.
It ain't
next
tired
week,
yet.
Okay, so again, this goes into
Hey,
next
I was
week.
at camp. That dude's got a tight ass.
Yes. Oh, okay,
That dude
no, take that back. You see me? I stopped right there. I said, "No, you gonna say?"
You're the one that brought it up at camp, so don't start with me.
I said,
Don't
but
start
no,
with me.
This is what I was saying. Next week, if he does great, all the naysayers would be like,
Well,
"Oh,
that's
we should keep
fine.
Adam. We should keep Adam."
Yeah.
I'm still rolling with Adam. I'm still rolling.
Okay, and I understand what you're saying, and that's great. And for the most part, I am 100%. Y'all need to get behind your team.
Right.
And I comment on and have conversations with Colts fans. They claim to call themselves that are like, well, without Andrew Luck, we don't have anything. I'm like, do you guys know what you have on this team?
Yeah.
Did you guys not see what you were up against this week? And you were phenomenal.
Well, and I'm going to.
Jacoby Brissett.
Okay.
Holy crap.
All right. Well,
20
before you
for
get too
21.
far off, okay, Adam missed some points.
All of the points. He missed all of the points.
Okay, but our defense gave up how much?
Yes.
That's valid also.
Okay. Our offense scored how much?
I don't
It's
know.
it's a team sport.
I get that.
Yeah, I mean, we can't. I mean,
Now,
like,
Adam might make the final kick from time to time. Jacoby might make the final throw from time to time. Marlon Mack may get the final run from time to time. But it's a combined sport. How many points did our special teams make? Okay, so yeah, if I'm a coach, and tell me if I'm wrong, I'm looking at the whole.
yes.
Now, I'm not going to overreact to Adam Vinatieri having a bad day because of the past that he has come from with the leg that he still has. Now, if we do it next week and the week after that, by the third week of having a bad game, hey, I might change my tone. But one game, the first game of the season,
Well,
flying across country,
I'm going to put it.
I'm just
gonna-
not
I'm
going to
gonna put it like
overreact
this.
to it.
I'm going to put it like this. And Bill Parcells has said this. I've heard Mike Ditka say this. And this is some old school football shit.
Rub some dirt on it, boy.
Yeah.
Get back out there.
If you're dependent on your kicker to win the game for you, you didn't play the game you were supposed to play to begin with.
Damn right. 100%.
I mean, yeah, because our defense, I'll be honest, I can't
We
put
gave,
it on Adam because our
we gave
defense.
up. We gave up too many yards, too many
that's-
points.
Okay,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you guys were up against one of the better offenses in the NFL.
But we could have beat
Yeah.
them. We should have.
We took
Oh,
it in
they-
overtime.
Yes.
Wait,
that
wait,
was.
so especially going into this, you've got a backup quarterback. You've got a team that's just.
I don't call him a backup
Whoa,
quarterback.
whoa, whoa!
He's
He
not a
is
backup
not
quarterback.
a backup
He's our
quarterback.
star.
Sorry, that was. You're right. That was incorrect language. My apologies.
He is not a backup
That
quarterback.
was a wrong wording. So sorry, God, guys.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Anyways.
What else? What else happened?
It was a tough loss.
Yeah, it was.
We should have won that game in many facets.
So the thing is that even moving into that game with Andrew Luck, it was never a win for the Colts. It was never a win for the Colts. So the fact that the Colts took it in the direction they took it, made it into overtime, made it as close as they did make it, says a lot about what the Colts are looking forward to this season.
yes.
Very much so.
But can I say something?
Now let me ask you this. Okay, what if it wasn't Adam Vinatieri that had the bad day? What if it was Jacoby Brissett that had had the bad day?
And so
Now,
know
would
what?
you be putting his head on
or
his
T.Y.
stick, or will
Hilton.
you still give him some more time? I'm sure there's people out there that would be.
If we had finished that game,
See, I
on
told
a-
you we should
on
get
a-
Kaepernick.
on a pick six in overtime with, the Chargers running one back.
Do you need your medicine?
No. So the
Look, Coach-
difference is that Jacoby Brissett has never had an opportunity to prove himself as a starter.
Yes, he has.
Okay,
2017.
In 2017, that was a different animal for that man. This is a completely different set of rules for him. He knows the team, he knows the game, he knows the playbook.
Okay, so what if Adam was
phenomenal
dealing
out
with
there.
this
Jacoby-
different set of rules?
Adam Vinatieri has been in the bottom half of kickers for more than 1 year.
But why is he the GOAT?
What?
Because it's hard
Let
to
me
give
ask-
up the
well,
GOAT.
well, let me ask you a
That's the
question.
problem. So the Colts are going to have a hard time giving it up because he isn't. He's not ready to quit
Well,
yet.
let me
Fine.
ask you a question. How many kickers were replaced last year in the NFL?
Cool.
No.
What,
How many things am I supposed to remember?
But see, that's the thing. If you're going to argue this as we need to get rid of him, who do you replace him with?
Because I'm telling you right now, if the
Who
Colts,
do you replace him with? That's going to be better than him.
exactly because if the Colts let him go, I guarantee a team will quickly call him up, like, come sign with us.
Guarantee it.
Like-
Chicago would be on the phone tomorrow.
I guarantee the Patriots, the Rats,
They got
My guy.
come on back.
they got that tied
So,
down.
Okay. I apologize for hitting a soft spot.
Oh, it's good. You okay? You know you got a soft spot.
Hey, this is how we
This
make
is-
money.
This is literally something that y'all need
what
to
we're
think
supposed to be
about
talking
with
about.
your team.
This is very
He
debatable. That's
going
all.
to come down as the greatest kicker of all time.
He already
There's
is.
No way. Okay, but Adam, sit down,
Okay, so I have a question.
You're saying that from a Dallas fan perspective, though.
dude. You know who my kicker is this year?
No.
you?
Exactly.
I know two people on the Dallas Cowboys.
Do you know who your kicker was 2 years ago?
Yes.
Yeah, he's doing pretty good now, isn't he?
I know.
He had a bad game.
You know how bad it was.
He had a bad game.
Yeah, except
think?
he's
And now he's
not.
in
But
Minnesota.
it was just a bad game. It wasn't. You get the fuck out of here because you're
No.
old.
It was you had a bad game. Now go to Minnesota and start
He's
kicking field goals to them.
also
at a clip
not
of about 95%.
46 years old. You can't even get your foot above your
Which
knee.
Adam's still better than him.
I
don't
sure
stop.
can
Please.
if I'm laying on my back.
But we're not. But we're not trained professional athletes.
Like Adam.
We are
does this.
road hard mules
I'm
put
not
away
saying that
wet.
He's not a phenomenal athlete. I feel like he's just past his prime.
Right.
Didn't say that about Tom Brady.
Oh, don't
Leave,
get
leave
me
Adam
started.
alone.
All right, so okay, because I know we've been talking about Adam for a while.
sorry.
I have
Yeah.
a question.
4,
3,
2,
11.
1.
So speaking
Inside
of somebody
joke.
having bad games, Green Bay and Chicago, the first game on Thursday.
Man.
Horrible. Let's not talk about.
Just
There's nothing to talk
such
about.
a weird-
Exactly.
Well, no, I mean it was. I mean, if it was a battle of the defense, boom.
Yes.
that was that game.
Yes,
there was nothing. That was okay.
I wasn't impressed
It
with
was a
Aaron Rodgers
battle
or
of the
Mike
defense
Trubisky.
because there was nothing
Poor
else to
offensive
watch.
play.
Well,
Poor
so
offensive
that's
play.
valid.
Give me a good offensive game with a good defensive game,
Well,
and
so
then we'll
what-
say,
Okay, so Green Bay has a great defensive game up against Chicago's defense.
Right.
Offense. I meant offense. Chicago's defense, great.
Chicago's
So-
offense is terrible.
Yes.
get off Turbo Trubisky.
I like.
Oh,
I like.
it's terrible.
I mean,
No,
just-
Trubisky's
It was
not a
one
bad
game. It's the
Well,
first game.
by rights, we've established that if you have a bad game, you get fired.
No,
Okay, well, Kyle-
she established that, not we.
so
Get back
Look,
over here.
look what he did last year.
she lived in the stadium.
He had a bad game. He wasn't on it. He was off. He wasn't throwing. Trubisky's a decent quarterback. I'm not saying he's a top tier because I don't think he is, but he's a decent quarterback. He's going to get his stuff together. He's got good coaches in Nagy. He's got a great defense behind him. They'll rally around him.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
I just don't think it's time to put the Turbo Trubisky in
No,
the
but-
firing line.
Well,
Yeah, he's-
and I don't think we're ready to crown anybody
Yes, he's
in
not-
Green Bay either.
Yeah, he's
No,
not.
I mean, look at Aaron Rodgers. Look how great he is. He's my fantasy quarterback. Netted me 12 friggin' points.
You know what my fantasy quarterback is?
Stop it. Stop it.
You know who it is?
I know. I love yours. I love yours.
Even though I'm not a big fan of him,
Mwah.
Dak Prescott.
Who
Thank you,
had-
Dak.
Who had a career high day on Sunday?
Let's hope he does it again.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah,
Because-
yeah,
I know
Hey,
you're not a fan, but I can.
I just hope he just.
What's going on in the studio there?
I don't know.
So
What's going on, Lucas Oil?
but you know what?
what happened?
Hey, is Tony asleep at the wheel?
what it look like?
shut off. I bet he is, or he's outside.
But anyways, so
Oh, well, there we go. No.
you know somebody who else had a bad game? Well, bad game.
Well, you might want to wait a minute.
They can still hear us.
Fine. Hey.
What? Who had a bad day?
All right, but whoever else had a bad day was Miami Dolphins.
Man.
We had a blackout in the stadium.
Yeah.
Just across.
Just like the
board.
Miami
You know
Dolphins.
what's interesting,
Hey,
though,
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what, though.
Sorry, Miami
Although-
Dolphin fans.
Although we've had some technical difficulties today, we have been working our butts off in here to get all this together. So I'm
Yeah.
really proud of our show today, even with the technical
crying for a second.
difficulties.
Power outage.
I thought he was
Right.
crying.
Even with
Just let 'em have
the lady sitting at the table wanting to
Ladies.
string Adam Vinatieri up by his testicles.
Okay, yeah.
Even with Carvey Jackson mentioning the people up north twice now.
Wow.
You said you would not do that.
Hey,
I've got it in writing.
It's slip. I'm supposed to eat a hot Cheeto, like one of them little flaming hot.
You
Yeah.
never had one like at all?
I have before, and I don't like them. My stomach didn't agree with it either. Anyways, yes. So I mean,
All right, let's look forward. Let's look forward.
All right.
We got a division game this weekend
Yes. Against Tennessee.
against
at
Tennessee. At Tennessee, two back-to-back away games.
Yeah, well, see, the Tennessee game might be rough for you guys.
It-
I mean,
okay.
Tennessee had a good week last
So-
week. It had
They
a
did.
surprising week last
They
week.
They had a
had a
surprising
surprising
week
week.
to some people. I think I believe I told somebody that Cleveland was going to win in a surprisingly close game. Well,
Yeah,
they
so
didn't win.
Cleveland just
However,
took a turd.
I anticipated Tennessee playing them tough.
Yeah.
Tennessee's going to be a rough
Tennessee
game for you guys.
and the Texans always play us tough.
But I'll tell you this. I still believe that game was more of an aberration on the Cleveland end of it than the Tennessee end of it.
I agree with you.
I think Cleveland will play much better.
Just because all the talk Cleveland has gotten
Yeah.
over the summer.
And I believe that you got the best possible game you're going to get out of Tennessee last week.
That's possible.
I don't
Yeah.
see them lighting the scoreboard up for 45 points every
Oh, no.
week.
And
defense-
I really believe that Cleveland's going to rebound and pull some heads
They
out
played
of
with a
some
short
asses.
field all day. with Baker Mayfield throwing 3 picks.
Man.
So they ran the ball incredibly well. On defense, Cleveland was playing with the deck stacked against them because they had offensive linemen injured and kicked out of the game for pulling dumb stuff.
Yeah, so that was just some bullshit.
You're going to kick somebody after the play's over. I
Hey,
mean,
this is a family show.
I'll bet.
But
Hit the button on her, Coach.
with all that being said, I think we're going to go down to Tennessee. Tennessee's going to have a little bit of a letdown, and we're going to be coming in with a chip on our shoulders, and we're coming to play little brother.
I guarantee you are. Darius Leonard
We expect to
gave
win
himself
this.
an F on his performance
I would tend to agree with
against
you.
the Rams.
That's probably his
Wow.
career worst
And-
game.
Yeah.
and he is not going to stand for that.
Oh, exactly. I agree. That's why I personally believe that the Colts are going to keep that tradition of not really losing to the Tennessee Titans because, you know, every time we play them, A, we usually don't lose to them, and B, you know, like, our defense is outstanding. I mean, I'm sorry, like, because like you said, they playing with a chip on their shoulder.
Yep.
Lee Hooker's going to ball out like that one-hand interception he did.
Let's talk about Mac.
Oh, good
Oh,
heck.
yeah, I was
You
gonna say
guys
Marlon
haven't
Mack is
said
gonna
anything about
our
Marlon
line.
Mack.
Khalil Mack or who?
No,
There's
Marlon.
several Macks.
Return of the Mac, and I hope he has an outstanding game too because he's on my
Who
fantasy
was the
football
ground
league.
player of the week this year?
Can
Or
I
this week?
punch him yet?
If you want to,
No.
just
I
throw
mean,
something.
you know, I just pulled.
He had one good week in fantasy football. He dodged 16 bullets before the start of the NFL.
I'm just sorry. I'm
He's
just letting
in second place, not first place, second place.
a pregnant lady's beating me, but you know, yeah.
And
Everybody is being beat by the pregnant lady. So don't feel bad.
But hey, but at least I'm beating everybody else.
I am not. Except him.
Coach,
we'll
you,
leave that alone.
Coach, you can move your chair on that side if you want.
He's like, anyway.
Man, that's a good-looking jumbotron.
But as can I say something? As everybody see,
Needs to wear the
you see this
UN
trophy
hats,
right here. Can I mention this again, please?
Sure, go ahead.
As you can see, this is our fantasy league football trophy right here. The winner gets this trophy right here. And
No.
we-
That trophy stays in the studio.
this will stay in the studio.
They get their name on
will
it.
get engraved on it, and the winner gets this. You know,
Gets to take that one home.
the loser will get this that says loser.
That's me.
Okay, everybody.
Why do
So
you set that in front of me?
I'm just playing. It's all
But
love.
walks like a duck.
Talk like a- So we will keep y'all
Wow,
posted
you did
and
that really well.
updated, informed.
Hey, I want to bring up something controversial.
Yes.
No.
I'm
And,
ready.
and
go.
it's revolved around AB.
Oh God.
No. No. No.
You
no,
know I'm going to.
No,
You
no,
know I'm
no.
going to.
You're on your own. You're on
Okay.
your own.
And Carver, I'm glad you're here. Sit up to the mic. If an NFL player
Oh Jesus.
would have had to call a African American GM the N word, he would have been banned from the league. Flipping it around, an African American player called a Caucasian GM cracker. Now you just said you didn't want in it. Stay out. You ain't gonna be with me from the beginning. You ain't gonna be with me in the end. So my question is.
Hey.
My question is, Carvey,
Yes.
should Caucasian people be upset?
I think anybody should be upset. Period. Point blank. Period. Caucasian, white, Mexican, whatever, any race, because. But nah, because end of the day, it's all about respect. I don't care, like you said. We was talking about earlier. You're my brother. You are a human being. I would never disrespect you, call you out your name. So AB, yes, he was wrong. He was wrong. I admit he was wrong.
But was he? I'm
It's-
playing devil's advocate here.
I know you.
'Cause
I
I
said.
really don't care one way or the other.
neither,
You
but
call
I
me
got-
a cracker, I'll
Yeah, I got you.
I'll say I'm a saltine. Hell,
Just real quick.
but the double standard
I understand what you're
that's
saying.
played here
Yeah, I see. It's
see what I'm saying?
I see what you say because it's always, no matter where we
Now,
go.
nobody's talking about because he's being charged for rape.
Well,
Yeah.
okay. So my other question is, when was the last time that I truly don't know the answer to this? When was the last time that there was a white player that was suspended for calling a black
player and out of their name?
There's been some college kids suspended for old tweets.
Okay.
I think, as far as I know. But
So-
I don't know about professionals. But see, to me, that's the greatest thing about sports. Because when you're in a huddle, it don't matter who's to your left or to your right.
There
It
you go,
doesn't
brother.
matter what
What
color
color
skins
they are.
what color skin
Yeah.
they are. You guys are brothers.
Just
You're
like-
in there
just like
in
a-
the fight
Yes.
to win.
Yes.
You're all there to accomplish
You guys
the
have
same,
the same
goal.
goal.
But that's the difference.
So
is-
most athletes, in my opinion, are not racist because they spend so much time together. They actually get to know somebody
Exactly.
But I
beyond their collar.
I feel like this was a different situation because it wasn't a teammate. And then on top of that, let's consider how much experience did he actually have with this team? Not much.
Just
Because he has been refusing to work with this team
So that's
since he ended up
excuse
with
to-
this team.
to not
No,
excuse
To say
tonight.
racial slurs?
No.
He should never.
not at all. He shouldn't have done it. He should have
Well,
never
and
said
if
it.
you look to kind of throw this back a little bit, it ended up costing AB his job in Oakland.
And
Yeah.
it cost him a
Yeah.
lot of money in Oakland. Regardless of what he does with those who shall not be named, he's not going to make as much money. And I
know.
think
He's going to make more.
No, I don't.
If
think
they
he
pick
is.
up the second-year contract, he actually makes, I think, like 10 million more.
I feel like
Because he's
there's a
getting
big-
15 million this year,
big-
and if they pick up the second-year contract, that's 20 million. That's 35.
big gigantic turd.
See, my thing is this: like,
Big
I'm a.
gigantic turd.
I'm just saying there is definitely a double standard here that's not being talked about by anybody.
I don't
Yeah.
disagree.
Now
with
they came out and they said, AB's been cut, called Maylock a cracker,
but that's
and
not.
that's it.
And-
Nobody else is talking about it. But being I am who I am, I like to dive a little deeper.
But there was also a large part of the story that New England had gone ahead and done some tampering.
There is some talk about that.
So let's consider that the general manager and the coach, the general manager and the coach of the Raiders, having gotten wind of the fact that he could potentially be charged with some wrongdoing, and they clearly know that New England has already jumped in with some previous tampering. Let's go ahead and let him dig his
Yeah, because
grave
New England
deeper.
gets to do whatever the hell they want.
And that's what
Now,
the NFL's
now
gonna
let me
let
throw
them
you
do.
something to think about. Last year, when AB wanted out of Pittsburgh, New England tried to get him.
I know.
Pittsburgh would not release him
Nope.
because they
rival.
rivalries in the division. Blah blah blah. They're like, no, I don't give a shit what you're offering me. You ain't getting him.
So they,
Now,
yeah.
the brilliant mind that Cheetah Check is, tell me he has not made a deal with the Raiders saying, hey, pick this guy up, give him, offer him this, see if they'll go for it, and then I will give you even a better trade for a worse player whenever you want.
But that's what I'm
I don't-
saying is, so that's where
Release him, we pick him up.
that's where the tampering comes from.
Well,
And
and I don't think it's necessarily him making deals with Oakland, but maybe they did make a deal with AB.
I think
I
it's
think
a,
low-key they did make a deal with AB.
I think it's a deal with Oakland.
I think it was with AB personally.
Either way,
Now-
it shouldn't have happened. And there
If-
were some rules that got broken.
If Oakland end up doing a trade with New England and gets some kind of crazy first round draft pick and this and that and this and that for some
Well, I'll
dick
tell you.
player, I'm going to be right, and I don't care what anybody else says.
Looking at deals Oakland's done with other teams in the past, you're sleeping with the devil.
Always, especially with the Raiders.
If you make a deal with Bill Belichick on trading anybody for anything, chances are you're going to come out on the south end of that.
But so that's the whole thing about people that make a deal with New England. Same thing.
But that's why I'm saying I don't think Oakland made a deal with New
Exactly.
England.
So I think that New
And
England.
they might not. I don't know. I mean, I would have loved to have been a fly on the room, though.
Because here's the thing: they didn't trade AB, they cut him.
Exactly.
We're done with him.
Why didn't they try to get
cut
something
him,
out of him? Because
well,
they
here-
gave up stuff for him. What'd they give up for him?
He was that detrimental.
A first-round draft pick and a third?
He was that detrimental to their club that they were willing to give that up just to get rid of him.
So that's
Or-
why I feel like they have some sort of knowledge that civil suit was coming forward and that they have evidence that New England was tampering with him prior to letting him go.
Or
Well, and we'll see that over
John
the coming weeks.
We
Gruden's
sure will.
actually the genius one here, cut the deal with Belichick to get the 21st or 2021 first-round draft pick and pick up Tolliver.
They would have had to have
wouldn't see
announced
it.
that.
No, they don't. They can make a trade tomorrow and say, "Hey, I'll trade you
Well,
so,
here's the
such
thing,
and
though.
such running back for
They cut
for
they-
your
they
first
cut
round for
AB.
2021."
They
Okay.
cut AB. New England was not the first one on the waiver wire. They didn't have rights to him automatically.
Yeah.
No, but
No, so if-
soon as they cut him, he could have went anywhere in the NFL he wanted.
Yes.
But he always
no,
wanted New
no.
England.
He got waived. So once you're cut, that doesn't make you a free agent. That puts you on the waiver wire.
Yeah.
Which means that works like the reverse draft. Okay, so what they'll do,
So who was the first one on the waiver?
I don't know who had the first pick on the waiver.
Okay, where was
at
New England at on
point.
that?
I know New England, because they won the Super Bowl last year, should have been number 32.
Yeah.
However, if other teams have picked off the waiver wire, then they move to the bottom. So you got a 1 in 32 chance that New England was the first one on the waiver wire, and I don't think that was the case. However, once he made it to the waiver wire, if New England put in a claim for him, they will inform all the teams ahead of them on the waiver list to say, hey, New England put in a claim for Antonio Brown. You have such and such time. If you would rather claim him ahead of New England, you can put in your claim.
Man, I wish Miami would have done that. That'd have been fun.
I don't know.
So
I
all of
still
those
think there's
teams-
some
Again,
backdoor
some
trades going
massive
on, man.
Conspiracy theories.
There's a lot of
regarding
things.
this.
Backdoor
It always,
trades.
it's
Yeah.
always, oh God, I can't even talk today. It's always something with the New England
Right.
Rats.
It is.
It's every year it's something with them. It's constantly
Every
with them.
time.
Every time. That's why I don't.
But I think this one's going to work out about as well as Josh Gordon did, to be honest with you. I really do. If AB plays more than 6 games with them this season, I'll be shocked.
You know what? If he doesn't get at least the same suspension that Ezekiel Elliott got, I'm going to raise some shit.
For what?
Exactly.
No, what's he getting suspended for?
Accused.
Uh-huh.
Because he was accused?
Well, here's the big thing.
That's what Ezekiel
Because
was.
the-
And then
the-
on top of that, the situation with Ezekiel Elliott is even the police in Texas agreed that she was a lying sack of crap and there was no truth to it, but they still suspended him.
I think they learn from that, so they gonna go for it. You know, they ain't make the same mistake.
Well, the
no,
thing
it's
is,
because they hate the Dallas Cowboys.
the way the
Typical
CBA
Dallas
is
Cowboys
written
fan.
Everybody hates
for a
the
situation
Dallas
with this,
No,
Roger Goodell's going to have the final say on this.
True.
no.
He could automatically put AB on the commissioner's exempt list, and he could be banned from playing until this is
I'm
settled.
sorry, but he's in the New England system now. It's not going to happen.
And
Well,
you
that's
know,
the
Roger
whole point.
It's
and Robert
not
Kraft
going
are
to
like
happen.
this.
System.
Do you know they're like
loves
that?
Kraft.
If I said Robert and Goodell is like this,
I
they're
mean, you
they're
know,
butt
they
buddies.
were hanging out down in the
about
Miami
Deflategate?
happy ending places.
Butt buddies.
They,
Uh-huh,
no, they
that's
got hit.
exactly
They
what
got
they
hit
are.
for
What?
I mean, okay, but come on, Robert Kraft. He bought
For
2
real.
big jet planes.
No,
Like,
I
what's
mean,
it?
they did.
Okay, but what did they get hit with?
The big fine.
How
the
much
two-
was
the
that?
2-game suspension for Brady.
Oh,
I mean, it was.
boo-hoo.
Yeah, two.
All I'm saying is, grab a New England fan off the internet and ask them how they feel about Roger Goodell.
Isn't there one on there?
I know. They're
I'm just
all
telling
their
you.
fans. I know. They all love Roger Goodell.
I think you're wrong.
Yeah, everybody hates Roger Goodell.
Man, yeah, that's true. It's across the board. Everybody hates Roger Goodell.
So,
except
But-
his wife, who actually is a really
We've
neat
seen
lady.
we've seen it time and time again. It's New England. New England can do and say
whatever,
whatever
and
the
it
hell
doesn't
they
matter,
want, and it
they
doesn't
get
matter.
away with it, and
Now,
I can wait till
you push Roger Goodell in a corner. Yeah, I got to do something here,
That's
Mr.
that's
Kraft.
why he-
Mr.
that-
Kraft, and I guarantee you, he calls him Mr. Kraft. Mr. Kraft, I got
I'm
to
sorry.
please these fans.
Just so
The
you
fans
get
pay our bills.
2 game suspension.
But hey, you know what?
I'm sorry that
Tom's
you
wanting to
got
go to
caught at
Cabo
that
anyways.
Asian happy
So
ending
here's a
place
good
in
chance.
Miami with
You know,
me.
just let him go, and we won't take no draft picks from you. We'll just blah blah blah. Blah.
This 2 game suspension.
I do think they didn't lose a draft pick over that.
No.
They did over
No.
the video gate, the
Yeah.
Spy Gate thing, but not the
always
the
something
deflateables.
with the cheaters.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, speaking of Patriots, I think we're getting close to having to wrap this thing up.
We are, and we got a special wrap up tonight, you
We
guys.
do.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
Yesterday was the 18th year memorial of the 9/11 tragedy. So our final thoughts tonight, and it's a collective final thoughts from D-Line Sports, is we're going to play the national anthem. We're going to stand up. We're going to salute the flag, and we're going to pay homage to everybody that was connected in that tragedy. Our first responders, the victims, our men and women in the military. We want to say thank you
Yes.
for everybody that. I thought Tony was yelling at me. Man, I was on a roll. I could have been reading a book.
There were so many lives affected that day. First responders,
And still-
military.
I read-
It wasn't even just that. Even my life
Civilians.
across the country, I was
Yes.
pregnant with my oldest daughter at the time, and all I could think was, "What am I doing? Why am I bringing a kid into this? This is the most terrible environment." Every life
My kid
in
too.
America was affected
Yeah,
that
everybody.
day.
Every year my
Every life.
I was
Every
in high
year my
school.
kid has been alive. We've been at war
So
because
it's-
we're
it's-
still over there.
Yeah.
We're still over there.
Yes.
This has affected every single one of us
Yes.
in one way or another. So we'd like to go ahead and take a moment and commemorate 9/11. Just take a moment and remember that day.
This ain't the moment.
It's fine. It takes a moment for
pulling
him to
it
have
up.
a moment. It's all right.
It
And
does.
so, 18 years ago, it's still like it was just yesterday. You
Well,
know.
I was pregnant with Stella.
Yeah.
She's graduating
Hold
from
on.
high school this year.
It's
and it
almost.
was-
It's getting ready to start.
So, never forgotten for the lost ones.
And we do have a flag on the back wall there. Play ball! I hit the wrong video though.
Yes, you did, but still,
I was
it's
just
still
gonna
good.
do the instrumental.
Never forgotten.
Video.
Never forgotten.
Anyways, that's our final thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you guys hanging out with us, sticking it through the technical difficulties. It's hot in here. It's been fun, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of hot, it's still hot outside. I think 89 degrees today in
Man.
Indianapolis.
No, it was 91-ish.
91-ish.
Yeah.
Wow. So don't forget to give our friends at Preferred Mechanical a call if you need some heating and cooling done. Mention the show. You get 10% off. Area code 317-924-4024. And tell them D-Line sent you. You'll get 10% off. and you'll get put in to go to a Colts game with me on the 50-yard line. Best seats you'll ever get. I promise you that. All you got to do is mention the show. But other than that, you guys be good to each other. No drinking and driving. And as always, go Colts.
Go Colts.
Go. Go Colts. Oh, wait. Hey, wait. Oh,
Shut
darn
her
it.
down.
I forgot to talk about it.